Hello student, today we are going to study the new topic that is excretion. So in the today's topic we are going to study about excretion in unicellular organism, excretion in human beings, parts of human excretory system, and in the parts of human excretory system we are going to study about pair of kidneys, pair of ureters, urinary bladder, urethra and urinary opening, and in the end we are going to discuss about urine formation. So what is excretion? Excretion is a biological process in which nitrogenous waste which are produced during the metabolism are removed out of the body. That is called as excretion. Now many of the students get confused between excretion and egestion. So removal of undigested waste is egestion, and removal of the nitrogenous waste, remember that, removal of the nitrogenous waste which are produced during different metabolic reactions or different metabolic activities in our body, and we remove them, that is called as excretion. Okay, so that is the definition. If you see here, it is written here, it is a biological process involved in the removal of harmful nitrogenous metabolic waste from the body, and this process called as excretion. So different organisms use different variety or different strategies to remove these nitrogenous waste. Okay, now there are different types of nitrogenous waste produced in the organism. If we talk about human beings, the main nitrogenous waste is urea. In the human being, the main nitrogenous waste is urea. If we talk about other organisms like birds, they have a uric acid. Uric acid is the main nitrogenous waste. Okay, if we talk about fishes, they have got ammonia. Okay, so different organisms have different types of nitrogenous waste. Okay, so human beings mainly they release urea in the form of urine. Now let us talk about unicellular organism. Now in the unicellular organism, they remove the waste by simple diffusion. Now as their body is surrounded by the environment, so simply they can release their waste materials or their metabolic waste, nitrogenous metabolic waste, by the process of simple diffusion into the surrounding water. But our body is very complex. We are not unicellular, we are multicellular organism. We have different kinds of organs which are doing specific work. So can we use simple diffusion? No, we cannot use simple diffusion to release uh, metabolic waste, nitrogenous metabolic waste. We have special or specialized organs, and they are doing specialized functions. So we have a particular excretory system to do all these functions. So let us discuss about the different parts of the human excretory system. So as I have already mentioned in the beginning that it consists of kidneys. So number one is kidney. So kidney is the first part of the human excretory system. Then we have a pair of ureters. You can see here, this is one ureter and this is the second ureter, and then we have the third part, that is the urinary bladder, and the last part is the urethra. So these are the four main parts of the human excretory system. So kidneys, a pair of kidney is there, okay, ureter is there, urinary bladder is there, and urethra is there. So where is kidney located in our body? Kidney is located in the lower back of the abdomen. Okay, so we have an abdominal cavity. In the lower side of the abdominal cavity, on the back side, so lower back of the abdominal cavity on either side of the backbone. So kidney is located on the lower side, on either lower back of the abdominal cavity, on either side of the abdomen. And then kidney forms the urine, kidney filters the blood and urine is formed, and then from the kidney the urine passes to the ureter. Okay, so ureter is a tube. You can see here in the diagram, the ureter is a tubular structure which passes the urine from kidney to the urinary bladder. So what is the function of the ureter? It is simply passing the urine. Then urine is stored temporarily in the urinary bladder. So this is urinary bladder which is storing the urine. So here the storing of the urine is done. Storing of urine. So urine is stored in the urinary bladder. Okay, and when the bladder is full, when the urinary bladder is full with urine, then we have a urge to pass the urine out of the body, and we pass it through the urethra. So urethra is a tubular structure which passes the urine out of the body. So these are the different, this is an overview, and these are different parts of the human excretory system. Now, as I have already mentioned, the parts are there: a pair of kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. So these are the different parts, and where they are located and what their functions are there, we have already discussed. Okay, so kidneys are located on the abdomen on either side of the backbone. So lower back of the abdomen. Okay, urine produced in the kidneys passes through the ureter, and from the ureter it passes to the urinary bladder. Okay, and then it reaches to the it stores in the urinary bladder, and until it is released through the urethra. So urethra release the urine out of the body. Okay, now let us discuss about a very important topic, that is urine formation. And in the same topic we are going to study about the different structures of the kidney. So where the kidney is doing, or which part of the kidney is doing filtration, that we are also going to study in the urine formation. So urine formation involves three main processes. Number one is filtration. Okay, as you can see here, filtration is written. Number two is reabsorption. Okay, now this reabsorption is called as selective reabsorption. Selective reabsorption. Now why selective reabsorption? Because only selected substances are absorbed, not all the substances, only selected substances are reabsorbed by the tubular part of the uh, nephron. Okay, and then the third part is tubular secretion. Now this tubular secretion is not given in your NCERT, so but it is a very important function which is involved in urine formation and tubular secretion that takes place in different parts of the nephron. Now you must be wondering what is nephron. Let us move to the next part. So nephron, so kidney contain various filtration units. Kidney contain various filtration units called as nephron. Let us see, this is a diagram of the nephron. This is from your NCERT textbook. So kidney contain various filtration units called as nephron. Millions of filtration units are there called as nephron. So this is the diagram of the nephron. Okay, now let us discuss the different parts of the nephron first, and then we are going to discuss how the urine is formed. Okay, so the nephron is basically made up of two parts. Now it is made up of many parts, and I always uh, write them as two parts. Number one is the filtration part. Filtration part. Okay, so this is the basically the filtration part. Now if you see the full structure of the nephron, now this up to here, this is the filtration part. This is the filtration part. I will write here is A, and then you can see the tubular part. This is the, this full part is the tubular part. Now if you see on the right side of the diagram, there is another diagram where I where the nephron is opened. So you can see this first part is the filtration part. I will write here as A, and the rest of the part from up to here, rest of the part from here to here is the tubular part. This is the tubular part. Tubular part, that is B. So A is the filtration part and B is the tubular part. So these are the two main parts of the nephron. Now let us discuss about the first part, that is the filtration part. Okay, now the filtration part is made up of two structures. You can see here a cup shaped structure is there, which is shown by blue color. This cup shaped structure is called as Bowman's capsule. You can see here, this is called as Bowman's capsule, and it is surrounding what? It is surrounding glomerulus. What is glomerulus? Network of capillaries. Network of Capillaries. Now, if you see your NCRT, what is written in your NCRT? How is urine produced? The purpose of making urine is to filter the waste product from the blood. Okay, so just as CO2 is removed from the lungs, so the nitrogenous waste such as urea or uric, I told you in the beginning that they are removed from the blood in the kidneys. So each kidney has a large number of filtration units. So these filtration units are called as nephrons. So millions of filtration units are there. So each capillary cluster, yes, what is this capillary cluster? This capillary cluster is the glomerulus, which I have told you. So you can see each capillary cluster or each glomerulus is surrounded by what? Is surrounded by a cup shaped structure. You can see in the kidney is associated with cup shaped structure end of the coiled tube called as Bowman's capsule, and that collects the filtrate. So what is this doing here? Now this is an afferent arteriole. As you can see here, this is a branch of the renal artery. In your diagram, if you see the diagram of your book, you can see here, this is written here, branch of renal artery. So the branch of renal artery is actually called as, the name of this branch is afferent. Afferent is bringing the blood. Which blood? Which is to be filtered. So the blood is brought here. I will make a arrow here. So the blood is brought here, and then this arteriole divides into capillaries, lot of capillaries, and forms a network, and this network of capillaries or capillary cluster is called as glomerulus, and this glomerulus is surrounded by a cup shaped structure called as Bowman's capsule. So together this Bowman's capsule and Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus, they are doing filtration. So Bowman's capsule and glomerulus together doing the filtration. So they filter the blood, and then the filtrate, whatever is filtered, passes to the tubular part down. You can see here I am making an arrow. Okay, and Bowman's capsule plus glomerulus, they are also called as Malpighian body. They are together called as Malpighian body or renal corpuscle. So these are the terms which you may not be using it because it is not in your syllabus. Okay, but you can know as your general knowledge. So what is this filtration part? Filtration part consists of two things. Number one, Bowman's capsule. Number two, glomerulus. And what is Bowman's capsule? It is a cup shaped structure which is surrounding the network of capillaries. What is this network of capillaries or cluster of capillaries? Glomerulus. So this glomerulus, which is surrounded by Bowman's capsule, what they are doing filtration. So let us see what is given in the book. So each capillary cluster in the kidney is associated with cup shaped structure called as Bowman's capsule that collects filtrate. Now the filtration is done and the filtrate is formed. So the filtrate is formed, and this filtrate then passes to the tubular part, this second part. Okay, the filtrate then passes to the tubular part in this direction, and then you can see the direction is there. And what is this tubular part is doing? Now this filtrate is very important. Now see what is given here. Some substances in the initial filtrate such as glucose, filtrate contains glucose, amino acids, salts, and water, lots of water, they are present. Now we have done digestion, and we have wasted so much of energy in doing digestion and produced glucose, broken down carbohydrate into glucose, broken down proteins into amino acids. So what do you think? The body will simply allow the glucose and amino acids and water to be released out of the body as a waste? No. So these glucose and amino acids and water, and there are more other substances, they are selectively reabsorbed. Okay, they are selectively reabsorbed as the urine flows along the tube. Which tube? This tubular part. So you can see here the nutrients are reabsorbed, the water is reabsorbed, the NaCl salt is reabsorbed, amino acids, glucose, all these things are reabsorbed when the filtrate passes through the different parts of the, so through this tubular part of the nephron, through the tubular part of the nephron, different substances are reabsorbed and ultimately urine is formed. So now one more process takes place, the third process. So as the filtrate passes through the tubular part or the tubule, the tubular part also do some secretion. Some of the waste substances are also released by the tubular part, and then finally the urine is formed. Okay, and then what happens to the urine? It passes to the next part. So the urine forming in each kidney enters a long tube, that is the ureter, and from that ureter it passes to the urinary bladder. Okay, so urine is stored in the urinary bladder until the bladder is full and we feel the pressure to pass it out of the body. Okay, so when the pressure is more, then the urge is there to pass the urine out of the body and it passes through the urethra. Okay, now the bladder is muscular. Always remember that bladder, the urinary bladder is made up of muscle. So it is under the nervous control, means we can control the urge to urinate. So we can control the urge to urinate. So this is about the tubular part. Now one more thing is left, that how much water is to be selectively reabsorbed, because urine also contains some amount of water. Okay, so the amount of water reabsorbed depends upon two things. Number one, how much excess water is present in our body. Suppose we have lot of water present in our body, then simply the urine, means in the urine the water can be released, because we have lot of water present in our body, we are hydrated. Suppose we are dehydrating, we are sweating a lot in the summer day, summer cool hot summer days, we are dehydrating, then what will happen? Will the body lose the water in the form of urine? No, the body will reabsorb more and more water. Okay, so that is the first point, that how much excess water is there in the body. And the second point is how much dissolved waste is there to be excreted. How much dissolved waste we have to release. If there is more waste, more water is used. It is simply like when we wash our clothes in our home. If they are more dirty, we use more water to clean them. If they are less dirty, we use less water to clean them. So like that, if there is more waste, how much dissolved waste means more waste, then more water will be excreted. Less waste, then less water will be excreted. I hope this excretion is understood by you. If there is any problem, you can ask. Thank you, students.